This is scary.
What's going on, but I've not heard of any haunted bobbies or anything. I've never had weird shit.
It's 2 o'clock in the morning and I just had the scariest thing ever happen, and I should have gone with my gut on this.
Happy Hippie has spent over 400 days out in nature. This video marked day 435. That night, he hiked to a remote bothy, a small shelter deep in the woods, and settled in for the evening.
Day 435 of me living out in nature, and it's the new year, so I thought I'd do a nice long video instead of the little short minute ones I've been doing recently. Today, I'm gonna go find a bovie around this area somewhere. It'll be the third time I've stayed in a bovie. I've never had any guests, so third time's a charm. The bovie I'm going to is called the White Lagan, I believe, and it's by Loch D. And I've got a bit of wood with me just in case there's no dry stuff there, so I can have a fire with ease. There's my home in the distance. Let me zoom in. It's got the nice Scottish flag on it. Let's go see what it looks like.
Other hikers had passed by earlier, but didn't stay. He lit a fire, cooked a meal, and relaxed. Then the knocking began.
Looks like more people are coming, but they've drove it. I didn't even know you could drive on this road. And I just had that family come in, and they said they'd just been to a different bovie nearby, and they were just searching around for another one. So they're just gonna have a little walk somewhere, and they said I might have guests tonight, so we'll see how it goes. I've set up my bed for the night. I'm gonna get the fire on when it gets darker. There's normally loads of candles around, but they've all been burnt out. This will probably be me for most of the night now. I just get my music on, enjoy this beautiful fire, and then get back outside tomorrow in my hammock. I got one of them water filter straws, and it comes with 2 little bags as well, so you can attach the straw to that. But I've not got to use. Oh, maybe this is the guests. There was no one there. I don't know if that's just the people fucking with me or something. I don't know if that's something they do. But I don't think it would be that family. It was just a dad and his daughter and son. Oh well, we'll see. It was just knocking on the door again, and then I went out, but there was no one there. So I don't know what's going on, but I've not heard of any haunted bobbies or anything. I've never had weird shit. Fuck's sake. Just wanted a nice little bobby night. If you've watched all my videos before, you know I don't do shit like this.
He assumed it was the family from earlier, but when he checked, no one was there. He stepped outside, walked around the bothy in the cold and wind. Nothing.
Gonna be a fun night.
He went back in, locked the door, and tried to shake off the eerie feeling. But then came the sound of footsteps inside the bothy.
And they're walking around into the room, and then I go in there, and it just stops. Maybe I just put my music on really loud and forget about it. Cameraman never dies, right? So it's been about an hour and a half since I last made a video, and I've just been doing what I said. I've had my music on loud, I've listened to Blink, some drum and bass, some reggae, and I'm doing what I came here to do, and that's have a good fucking night. So I'm going to enjoy into my time by this fire, and have an amazing day tomorrow, back out in nature where I belong. So peace and love, good night.
Wood creaked around him. Floorboards shifted. But every time he checked, the rooms were empty. He made it through the night. But even for someone who doesn't believe in the paranormal, he knew something wasn't right. Katie loves traveling and spending her free time outdoors. She documents her adventures and shares them online. But one peaceful solo trip turned into a chilling nightmare, one that ended with a call to the police. She was camping in her van deep in the woods. The evening had been quiet until around 2 a.m. Earlier that day, she met a couple near the river. They were searching for a ring, harmless enough. Katie even offered to help them look. When she suggested taking a phone number in case she found it, they declined.
I just had the scariest thing ever happen, and I should have gone with my gut on this. This kid, I'm so confused right now. This kid and his girlfriend were next to me at the river earlier. They seemed harmless. They were probably like in their mid to late 20s. And they didn't say anything to me at all the entire time I was next to them. And then all of a sudden they lost this ring, and the guy kept coming back, like hiking all the way back to where I was, like 3 different times. And so I was helping him look for this ring, and I asked him, like, hey, do you want me to take down your number? I'm gonna be here just in case I find the ring. And I asked him this like 3 times, and he kept saying no, and like insisted that I hide it somewhere random, which seemed so weird because the ring seemed sentimental, and I just had this feeling that something was off. And then 2 hours later, he texts me, hey Katie, thanks for helping us earlier. Do you want me to can we come over later to your campsite and have drinks? And I was like, literally, like, did I have a stroke? Like, I was like, sorry, but like, how did you get my phone number? And he was like, it was on the back of your rig. No, it's not. How did you know what rig I drive? Literally, I swear to God, we never talked about it. My phone number is not on the back of my rig. And he's like, oh, I saw your Instagram handle. I called my best friend. Can you get my phone number from my Instagram? She's like, no.
But later that night, she received a text from the man. He thanked her for helping and asked if they could swing by for a drink. Katie was confused. How did they even get her number? He claimed it was written on the back of her camper, but it wasn't. Something felt off, deeply off. That gut feeling, it screamed danger. He messaged again, this time asking her to go on a night hike. She refused, but the unease only grew stronger.
Okay, I had this gut feeling that something was wrong. He texted me again at like 10 o'clock at night and was like, hey, we're gonna go for a moonlight hike. Do you wanna come? And I'm like, I don't know you. No, what? I just had this gut feeling that I needed to leave here, but I was like, they're so young. Like, and then just now, this motherfucker, I literally wake up like, no, I just hear somebody out. I'm in the woods by myself camping. I hear somebody outside of my truck just creeping around, and I like jolt up. Usually when I hear things like this, it's nothing. And I look out, there's a fucking figure of a man outside of my window in the woods, and he doesn't have a light on. He's not saying anything. I just hear him trying to get into the cab of my truck. And I was like, hey, what the fuck are you doing?
Then at 2 a.m., she heard it, crunching footsteps circling her van. Katie jumped up and looked out the window. There he was, the same man from earlier, just standing there in the dark, staring in at her. She shouted. He claimed he'd fallen in the river and needed a towel, then ran off into the night. Katie texted him, warning him to stay away. His replies got stranger.
And I was like, hey, what the fuck are you doing? And he's like, is this Katie? I fell in the river. I need a towel. Why didn't you say anything? Why am I waking up to hearing you creeping around my truck in the pitch black without making yourself known? And he just ran. He like ran away. Sorry, and ran away. Sorry? You weren't trying to, no, you're sorry you got caught. I just texted the number they texted me from, and I was like, dude, you do not roll up on some girl's campsite who's alone in the middle of the woods at 2 o'clock in the morning. You're lucky you didn't just get yourself. If you're watching this right now because for some reason you found me on social media and this is what this is all about, what the hell? The last thing that I want to say about this is that when I texted him and asked him what the hell he was doing standing outside of my truck at 2 o'clock in the morning, he said that he had fallen off the cliff and needed my help and that he had lost his phone. He was texting me on his phone like 15 minutes later after said cliff fall. And then when he scurried off into the woods, I saw him, like, when he was standing around my truck, he had no light on. He was standing in the dark. And then when I watched him, like, scurry off into the woods, when I asked him, when I was like, what are you doing? Freaking out, he turned his flashlight on and then ran away on his phone. I honestly think I just, like, escaped from being, you know, a true crime situation.
He claimed he'd fallen off a cliff, lost his phone, broke his ribs, and was now texting her from an ambulance. None of it made sense. Katie called the police. No reports had come in, just hers. They escorted her out of the woods.
Okay, it's now 5 a.m. I just got police escorted out of the woods because there was a man outside of my camper staring into my window in the forest at 2 o'clock in the morning. If you did not see my last video, basically what happened is I had an interaction with a man and his girlfriend earlier in the day while I was camping. He seemed to have had my phone number later on. I never gave it to him, and then I found him standing outside of my truck looking into my window trying to get in at 2 in the morning in the middle of the woods. If you didn't see my last video, basically what happened is that I had an interaction with a guy and his girlfriend while I was camping at the river earlier in the day. They seemed totally harmless. Somehow later on, the guy ended up having my phone number. I thought it was really weird. And then I found him standing outside of my camper at 2 o'clock in the morning in the woods in the dark trying to get in. I am like coming off of an adrenaline rush right now. So hang on, bear with me. This is bullshit. This man was not trying to get my attention in any way, shape, or form. He was standing out in the dark, fiddling around. The only reason I heard him is because I just happened to hear something and then jolt up and then see him standing out, staring through my window in the dark. If he needed help, he would have made himself known. That is not true. When the cops showed up, I explained the situation and I said, you guys are the local police. Did you guys get a call that a man fell off a cliff in the middle of the night and was injured and was in an ambulance on the way to the hospital? He said, no, we did not. And we would know. We're linked up with the EMS, where the cops and the EMS are a team. We would know if somebody fell off a cliff. So that was a lie. He also went on to say that he was hiking a place called Willow Cove. He said that he was doing that at 10 o'clock at night for a moonlight hike that he wanted me to come with him on. If he was hiking, I looked up the hike, it's 0.6 miles. He was outside of my camper at 2 o'clock in the morning trying to get in. Okay, that's 6 hours later. Also, Willow Cove is 6 miles from where I was parked camping. If he was hiking Willow Cove, and that's true, he would not have been outside of my camper 6 miles down the road. That doesn't make any sense. This was a fucking absolutely terrifying, eye-opening situation. I do have myself protected. I don't ever want to be in a situation where I have to use said protection. I can't explain. I literally feel like that was a dream. I can't explain. Like, you always feel like you imagine the moment when you're going to be camping alone in the woods and you wake up and you see a man standing outside. You think that, like, I imagined that moment happening over and over and over again, never thinking that it would actually happen. When I saw him outside of my truck, when I looked out and my brain registered that was actually a body standing there, I can't explain what that feeling was.
The next day, she checked again. Still no reports. No injured hiker. Nothing.
So I did contact the police department again this morning and just was explaining to them that I really wanted confirmation whether or not somebody made a call last night that they had fallen off of a cliff. I gave them the exact time the call would have came in at, and I explained to them that if that did happen, I'm going to let this go because there's a reasonable reason why this person was at my campsite in the middle of the night. But if that's not true, we need to do something about this, you know. And no calls came in last night, so do with that what you will. Well, my call came in, but no call came in that stated that somebody had fallen off of a cliff and needed help. So that was just not real. So I'm going to the police department right now and we're going to just file like a formal police report. And
she filed an official report. She never returned to that area again. Whatever his intentions were, she knew she wasn't imagining the fear she felt that night. A man was out in the woods, calling for his dog, Lucy. The sun was setting, and the only light he had was from his torch. He wandered deeper into the forest, desperate to find her. That's when he saw it.
Come on, girl. Lucy. Good doggy, where are you? Lucy. The hell? Help.
A piece of paper nailed to a tree. On it, the word help, drawn above it, was a strange circle with a cross through it. He pressed on, hoping to find Lucy, but then his flashlight caught something between the trees.
Would that go there? Lucy, where are you? Come on. Daddy's getting cold. Where is she? Come on, Lucy. Be a good doggy. Come on. She must be along these trees somewhere. Oh, fucking hell. Whoa! Oh, god damn. Oh, where is she? Huh? My camera's going fuzzy. What the? Who?
A tall figure, pale, no face, just standing there. The man froze, then shouted, claiming he wasn't scared. But seconds later, he was screaming for help, running.
What the? Who are you? I'm not scared of you anymore! No, I'm not coming with you! Oh, God! Help! Help!
The video cuts out suddenly. Lucy was never seen on camera. Neither was the man again. Chico and his wife travel full-time in their van. They're no stranger to van life, traveling, exploring, and documenting it all. They pulled into a quiet forest clearing for the night. It seemed perfect. Later, they noticed a new camper nearby. Someone camping just behind them. Odd. But they didn't think much of it. That was until Chico noticed the man watching them closely.
We found a good spot to park, and we were there a few days, and it was getting comfy. We were just getting comfy. And then we had a crowd of people come in, and that was the weekend warriors. So the spot that we picked, we were alone. Nobody else around. When we picked the spot, like I said, it got crowded after. We went to town, came back to our spot, was still there. There was a camper behind us, I would say 40 yards away. This guy had a nice rig and a nice setup, so I wasn't too concerned about somebody like that behind us. This is where you can't let your guard down. Out here, somebody that seems friendly might turn out to be something different. And he showed his colors today. I usually am tolerant. I see people around us that would make other people leave. And we've been in some pretty shady spots. This spot wasn't shady at all. So we had to move. So we moved to this spot we're at now, and it ran us right into the guy that was stalking us in his bikini bottoms. So one demon chased us right into another demon.
They chose to leave and find another spot, but the nightmare wasn't over. The next morning, they were enjoying breakfast outside when it started. From somewhere nearby, a man began yelling, screaming, cursing. His voice echoed through the trees. It didn't stop. The rage only grew.
We were having our coffee this morning, and that new neighbor that pulled up did this.
What did you say? This is scary. Just dropping F-bomb? On the nose.
Now, how we handled it was we stayed in. I didn't want to be in eye shot of him. I didn't know if he was armed, but this man was angry, and you could hear the rage in his voice. We had to get out of there.
The couple immediately packed everything. They didn't speak. They just left. That trip was enough to shake them both. For the first time, they questioned if this lifestyle was really for them. Because sometimes, it's not the wild animals you need to worry about. It's the people. Luke is no stranger to the outdoors. His channel is all about camping and survival. But this trip, this one, stuck with him. After a long hike, Luke found a clearing, set up camp, and settled in with some coffee by the fire. Rain tapped gently on the tarp. Then the woods began to shift. He started hearing heavy footsteps. Something large, breaking sticks as it moved through the darkness.
I could have swore I heard something walking through the woods. Something big enough to break branches and whatnot. There are black bear up here, but that would be highly irregular for them to come this close to camp. I definitely heard something though. I just don't know what.
He scanned the woods with his flashlight, but nothing. Assuming it was just wildlife, he pushed on. Later that night, Luke was jolted awake. A loud crash, like a tree falling nearby. But there was no wind, no storm, just steady rain.
It is update time, everyone. It's about 3 o'clock in the morning. It's been raining all night long since roughly 11 p.m. It's a good solid rain. Nothing heavy, nothing crazy, no thunderstorms. And now that I'm thinking about it, no wind either. It's quite calm. The reason why I'm up right now, I heard something. I'm not sure what it was. It was loud. A crashing sound maybe, a tree coming down, I'm not sure. I was dreaming pretty heavy and just kind of was startled awake. Something over here. I'm not sure. But I don't hear anything now. But at the same time it's so loud I really can't hear anything anyways. I'm gonna go back to bed. I have my alarm set for 5:30. I will see you all then.
Morning came, and as he packed up, he spotted something that sent a chill down his spine. A massive tree, snapped and lying across his path.
This was not here yesterday. I'm so confused, everybody. This is a large tree. You can see here that the root base has been snapped off. But the question that I have is, where did it come from? It didn't come out of the ground right here or anywhere around here. This is perplexing. Okay. I'm just not sure what to think or what to say. This is without a doubt unusual. I don't know. What I do know is that this was not here yesterday when we made our way through the forest. Interesting, everyone. Very interesting. One person could technically move it, you know, just by dragging it around, but that'd be a ton of work. And it would be difficult to do in a forest like this.
But it hadn't been there before. He would have passed it on his hike in. The tree didn't fall from anywhere nearby, and there were no signs of damage around. Something, or someone, had placed it there. But how and why? Vlad is known for pushing his limits in survival challenges, but this time, nature pushed back. While hiking a remote trail, he found an abandoned van. He decided to spend the night inside. He cleared the area, made a fire, and tried to settle in. But once darkness fell, the fear began. He was surrounded. Loud animal sounds echoed through the woods. Something big, circling. He hunkered down, heart pounding, until the noises finally stopped. Later, while gathering wood, he stumbled upon something unsettling. A huge bone, just lying there in the middle of the forest. He stuck it out, but the tension never faded. When you're in the wild, sometimes it's not about bravery. It's about knowing when to leave. Some of these campers made it out unharmed, but none of them left without a story they'll never forget. Which encounter stayed with you the most? Let me know down in the comments. And if you enjoy these terrifying encounters from the wild, don't forget to like and subscribe. Just remember, when night falls in the forest, it's not always the animals you need to be afraid of.